Alright, in this lesson we're going to take a look at some story problems. So the first thing, it says you give 1/3 of a pan of brownies to Taylor and 4/9 of the pan to Kenzie. How much of the pan did you give away? So you gave 1/3 away and 4/9 away. And it wants to know how much we gave away. So we need to add those two together to find out how much total was given away. So there's the problem we're going to do. When we add fractions, we need a common denominator. 3 and 9 both go into 9, so our common denominator is 9. The numerator here stays 4, and over here we need to do 3 times what gives us 9. 3 times 3 gives us 9. So we do 1 times 3 and get 3 in the numerator. We're now going to add the numerators and get 7, and the denominator stays 9. So the answer is 7/9 of the pan. So that's one example. Alright, let's take a look at this one. You go out for a walk and walk 1 3/4 of a mile, and then later in the day you walk 2 3/8 of a mile. How far did you walk all together? Well, earlier in the day you walked 1 3/4 mile. Later in the day you walked 2 3/8 of a mile. So what we need to do is add these two distances together to find the total. When we add fractions, the first thing we're going to do is convert them to mixed numbers. So 4 times 1 is, convert them to improper fractions. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7/4. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 3 is 19/8. Now we need a common denominator, which we do not have. So I'm going to make my denominators 8. So I'm going to multiply 4 times 2 to get 8, and 7 times 2 gives me the 14. And then 19 can stay on the top here. So now our denominator is 8, and we're going to add 14 and 19 together, and we get 33. So the last step then is to convert this into a mixed number. So we're going to set up our long division. Top dog goes in the doghouse. 8 goes into 33 4 times. So it's 4. 4 times 8 is 32. Subtract, we get 1. And so our remainder is 1, and the denominator is 8. So all together they walked 4 1/8 miles. Alright, let's take a look at another example. This one says a school wants to make a new playground. They give the job of planning the playground to some students. The students decide to use 1/4 of the playground for a basketball court and 3/8 of the playground for a soccer field. How much is left for the swings and play equipment? Okay, so what we need to do is we have to take the playground and we need to subtract these two from the playground to see what would be left. Okay, so the playground would be like 1 whole, and we're going to subtract 1/4 of the playground for the basketball court, and then we're going to subtract 3/8 of the playground for the soccer field. So the next thing we need to do is we need to get a common denominator. Okay, and 4 and 8 both fit into 8, so we're going to have our denominator be 8. This one already has a 3. 4 times 2 gives us 8, and 1 times 2 is 2, so that's that one. And then over here, 1 whole would be the same as 8/8. Now that we have a common denominator, our denominator is 8, and we're going to do 8 minus 2 is 6, minus 3 is 3. So the answer is 3/8 of the playground. That's how much would be left for the swings and play equipment. Alright, and those are some examples of how you would use fractions, or do some story problems with adding and subtracting fractions.